You understand the question? Everyone understand it? What do you need in your life to be complete? To feel as if you're enough, to be enough, to feel good about yourself and make right choices, not wrong choices, to have healthy relationships, not unhealthy, to live where you want to live, to change how you deal with yourself on fear and anxiety and self-image and self-esteem. There's something there that's missing that keeps making you make the wrong choices. The other night, in one of my health support groups, and this is a year-old health support group, there's a man who's been coming every week. And he always brings a briefcase. And he always is the same. And he got really nasty, really angry for nothing. And I said to him, what don't you like enough in your life that you're willing to project it onto me right now? He said, well, I couldn't hear you. I paid my money to come here and I want to hear you. And I said, do you really think that hearing me is what made you angry? You've been angry. You're just looking to displace it on someone. Now, I spent the entire 2 hours talking with this man. And it wasn't for him. It was for everyone else in the class who got a lot from it. And I asked this man, I said, how old are you? And he said, I'm 70. I said, well, there's good news and there's bad news. He said, tell me the good news first. The good news is that you should have about 2.5 years to live if you're the average American male. The bad news is, with that anger, you may not make it. Haven't you ever wanted to say that to someone, Carol? Sure you have.
Yes, oh yes.
But the fact is that people die, right? And we die at a certain age range. And there's a reason that we die in that age range. Stress, unhappiness, and disease, and frequently one causes the other. So I said, you got a choice. You got a choice to honor who you really want to be. I said, let me ask you, tell me if I'm wrong. Let me just guess. You're a perfectionist. Yes. You're very judgmental about other people's qualities and therefore are always pointing out their weaknesses or what's not right. Yes. You find it very difficult to open up and talk with people and generally don't have any friends. Yeah, don't need them. Okay? All right. I was getting to that also. He just answered ahead of me. You really control your environment. You're married, but you don't really seek your wife's opinion. You kind of tell her the way it's going to be, and she's adapted to you. Yeah. You taught your kids what they should do, and you pride yourself on that they did what you're supposed to, but you never found yourself really telling your kids that you love them, whether they fail or succeed. Yeah. You never bothered to exercise, but you like to think that you're really smart because you read a lot, and so you equate what you read with what you know, and hence you use that as a way of talking down to people, controlling the conversation. You're very impatient. He's, yep. I says, now, what this would tell me is that you did everything you were supposed to do growing up in your background to be a responsible person. You had your family, you succeeded at your career, and you're totally unhappy. I said, at what point would you like to actually start living your life and just do it all over again? Just erase everything that you've ever believed in and start all over and put what you want to believe in its place so that you don't walk around with this anger that you're willing to displace at people. I said, some people sublimate their anger by eating. You know, they think, I can't stand it, I'm not happy, and I'll just eat a gallon of ice cream. You know, or someone else will gamble. Stupid things like internet stocks, you know, day trading. The odds are worse at winning at that than gambling in Las Vegas. Yet people will do it. Why do people take inappropriate risks and never appropriate risks? All the time people take inappropriate risks. It's sublimating. You see, if you really loved yourself, you wouldn't do anything where you have a chance of losing that much. But if you don't like yourself, it's just one way of saying, well, you know, so what? Who cares? You know, I'm not loved anyhow. I don't love me anyhow. So what's, you know, I might as well go out there do something else stupid. That's why people drink or smoke, or that's why they sublimate. Why? I said, but you just worked long hours. I'll bet you worked long hours. Yeah, well, you got to. No, you don't have to. You chose to. Big difference. You chose the standard of living and made the standard of living seem like it was a quality of life. Did your quality of life really, was it there to equate your standard? He said, no. So when you look back, what do you really have to show? What will anybody remember you for? Will anyone miss you when you're gone? He said, well, it doesn't matter to me. He says, I'm an atheist. I said, well, then why are you an atheist? He said, I don't believe in God. I said, you don't believe that there is a super power? I said, could you believe in goddess? There was 28,000 years of goddess before there's ever a God. So is it you just don't believe in supreme beings, don't believe in energy beyond life? He said, that's right. So I said, well, let me just show you something. Then you tell me, John, come up here a moment. You tell me what this is. So I brought a guy up. Just put this down for a second, John. Just hold this. Thank you. And I said, I want you to explain this to me. All right? I said, now, the body has 5 energies. Electrical, which allows central nervous system, right? Nerves. Mechanical, which allows the body to move. Thermal, which no matter how hot or cold, it'll keep him at 98.6 degrees, right? Chemical, which allows all of the biochemical processes, the hormones to be created, all of that every second without ever being taught. And osmotic, which allows the blood to flow, lymph to flow. Now, all that together is called life energy. Now, the only thing it's missing, if John dies, is what? Is energy. Now, the energy is what is his conscious, because something that cannot be taught and something that was never learned is what? Spirit. You weren't taught the Spirit. You had to have an energy in you. If you don't have an energy, you're not alive. And we all know when we feel that energy, when we feel good, we feel an energy. When we feel bad, we feel our energy go down. Do you ever know when you're depressed or you're drained of energy? So when people are dying, they're losing their energy. When they're really alive, they have abundant. A puppy has abundant energy. Kids have abundant energy, right? And in a relationship, you look for the quality of energy. You look for those vibrations. What we call vibrations. We have metaphors for them, right? Good vibrations. Everybody knows what I'm saying if I say good vibration, bad vibration, right? So I said to this fellow, I said, now, if you can accept that there's energy, and that's a proven fact, there's energy. Did you just tell your heart to beat? No. Your lungs to breathe? No. Your liver to create enzymes? No. Your kidneys to filter blood? No. Your adrenal glands to secrete adrenaline so that you can have proper energy? No. Your pineal gland to secrete melatonin? Your pituitary to secrete hormone growth factor? No. Your testes and ovaries to secrete estrogen? No. Your antibodies, when you eat something you shouldn't or drink something you shouldn't, they go to your defense immediately. They know how much to attack and when to stop the attack. Cancer cells, there's a special cell that will kill them. Now, how do they know? How does all this know to happen in you when you're not telling it to do it? Everything is in the memory of the energy. So that meant that the moment life occurred, without any planning, any evolution on your part, you're merely the catalyst for it, it meant that everything that was ever known of how a life should be organized was already in the energy of the sperm and the egg, right? Because if that weren't the case, how would the heart of a child beat? How would the child be able to breathe? Do you see what I'm saying? That all you have to do is look at the dynamics of a body to see that there is a power, whatever you choose to call it, greater than our own, that allows life to exist. Now, you can deny a God, you can deny a goddess, you can deny a supreme being. You cannot deny, it is not possible to deny that there is a force an energy force that has the consciousness of the history of all of being in us. We are the sum total of everything that's ever been in ourselves. That's how we have evolved. And without that consciousness, life would cease to exist. It would be a seed that died and nothing ever grew in its place. But that's not how life is. That's what makes it so unique. That's why when you've been around someone else, you take on their energy, positive or negative. That's why you feel the person. Have you ever thought about someone and the phone rings and it's the person? Do you think that's a coincidence? No. We share, when we have that perfect affinity with someone, we share the energy of the other person. When there's balance in that sharing, there is the perfection of that life force being shared. I'll just show you one other thing you haven't seen. Hold up your arm. Now resist. Don't let me push down. Resist. Be strong. Come here. All right, now, hold up your arm. Resist. All right, now, push down. Good. Strong. Okay. Now, just look over there at that wall. No. Good. Okay, hold your arm up. Resist. Don't let me push down. Hold your arm up. Resist. Don't let me push down. Okay. Turn around. Hold your arm out. Resist. Hold your arm up. Resist. Okay, thank you, John. I got her energy. What do you think you just saw? You have no idea, yes. Force field is the energy, the life force. All right, what else? The chi. The chi is what? Energy. The life force. All of you have experienced it every day of your life when you're around things that you feel the energy, a sunset, a waterfalls, the ocean, a mountain stream, watching kittens play, the joy in someone smiling. It energizes us. And we also know what takes away our energy. The diet that is devoid of energy, like meat, sugar, caffeine, smoking, drinking, alcohol, processed foods, de-energize. And we know what gives us back our energy, live foods. We know that people can give us energy and share it, or we can block it. But when you develop an understanding that virtually all what is joyful is in the energy, then you can control your energy and you can channel it. And that's all I was doing, is affecting the energy. And once you understand how to use energy, think of what you can do for your own self-healing. Now, he didn't see what I was doing, but you felt it, right? So you just saw something that was unrehearsed, unplanned, and you saw a phenomenon. The cynic, the skeptic will say, well, it was power is persuasion. But he didn't know what was to be persuaded. And I didn't touch him. I didn't touch him. So imagine people being around you who are always projecting negative thoughts. Think of what that does to your energy in your body. Do you understand what I'm saying now? Get the point? That's why you don't want the food that blocks the energy and de-energizes. You don't want that environment.